you switch to root and you put in the password. No, sorry. First connect to your first server, okay? Yeah, 32. So if you do host name, you should be connected to your first server, okay? Anybody who is falling behind, let me know, then I'll slow down a bit, okay? Because this is really important. And now let's go ahead and do ls-ld assignment. And you have this here, and if you do ls-l assignment. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and remove this folder here, and I'll start again. rm-rf assignment. Oh, I have to be root. Okay, sudo su hyphen, and I give the password here. Okay, rm-rf assignment. So I'm forcing it to remove everything from there. Okay, so now let's follow along here. Okay, terminate mkdir. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do mkdir assignment, assignment. Okay, I'll hit enter, and let's see here. So what I'm gonna do is, if I do ls-ld assignment, so what is happening here is the owner who is root, he has a read or write access, okay? And group who is root, he has read and execute and read and execute. Why would they need a read and execute? Because execute for a directory, going inside the directory means it's execute. So everybody has execute permissions for directory. Not a big deal, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into assignment, and then I'm gonna create a file, vi terminate John, vi terminate John, right? So we are assigning terminate John. So I'm gonna say terminate John Connor, okay? I'm gonna save and exit. And then I also have another file, terminate Sarah. and I'm going to say terminate Sarah Connor. Okay, so if our terminator comes in here and look at his assignment, and he should be able to read if he's here or here. Right now our terminator belongs in here. He has only read write access here. So what we're gonna do is, since terminate is our part of the group machine, we're gonna give him access here, not here. Okay.
Hey, Mr. Zafar, question. We just removed the
Assignment.
folder assignment.
Yeah.
So when we made it again, don't we have to add the terminator back to machine? Or no, that was only for, sorry, that was only for terminator, the user. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I got a little confused.
Yeah. This is where all happens here, because you need to really understand the permissions.
Yep,
If you give wrong permission to wrong person or wrong group, then it's going to be a problem later on.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Good question though.
I'm trying to make an assignment, but it's saying that the file exists. It cannot create a directory.
Yeah, no, remove it. Earlier I removed it here. Are you logged in as root?
Yeah, so I'm doing rm minus rf hyphen, but it's not.
Then / assignment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where you create it.
It says for me too that the file exists.
Yeah, go ahead and remove it.
I did remove. I even used the asterisk.
No, just type rm hyphen rf and a / assignment. Take it out. You are in as root, right?
Aisha at Aisha 01.
Yeah, you're good.
Says permission denied, cannot remove.
I think you need to be in root because you just said you were at Aisha 01. You need to be at root at Aisha 01.
Yeah, you have to be switched to root. As sudo su hyphen, then you'll switch to root. Yeah. So going forward, I mean, you just make sure you logged in as root. Match what I'm doing here. Are you good?
Even in root at Aisha 01, it says the same thing. Cannot create the directory file exists.
No, but first run rm-rf first.
I did that.
Okay, so let me take a look here. What is the IP address of your server?
10.1.10.9. Okay, I think now it made it for me.
You okay now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now so let me copy this part here, make directory. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out of this, and for here I'm gonna do change the ownership here first. Okay, I'm gonna change the ownership for this folder here too. This is gonna be root, and this is gonna be the group owner is gonna be machine group. Okay, so if I do ch own, okay, and what I'm gonna do is root colon and then machine and then / assignment. Okay, and I'm gonna do uppercase -r hyphen uppercase r. Okay, so what will happen is when you run this command, if you don't run it, if you don't run it, only the existing file or the folder will have the permissions that a machine can write. So existing file, whoever belongs to the machine group will not be able to write to it. Going forward it will. But if you do -r, this means recursive. Everything inside it as of now. Okay? So what will happen? This will also change. I'll hit enter. And if I do ls-l assignment, and you see now, yeah, right. You see the group for the terminate has also changed. Okay, everybody with me so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Change group ownership. So earlier it was root here. Now it's a machine. Okay, and also if you look at the folder itself, so this what this will do is this will change the permissions. No, change the ownership, group ownership. Okay, so I'm gonna say recursive -r -r means recursive. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and look for the, if I do ls-ld, I still have assignment here, okay? I'm gonna give the group the right permissions here. So chmod -r, okay, o, not o, group, I'm gonna say plus right and assignment. Chmod. Okay. Now if I do ls-ld assignment, okay, there is a w in between here, and also if I do ls-l assignment, the files inside the folder does also have a write permission for the files here. Okay. Now permission to folder grant write permission to folder and files recursively. So what has changed here is the write permission has changed, and the folder write permission has changed here. In future, if the terminator is going to write anything here, he's going to write a memo here, a new file, he is able to do it. Okay, how are we going to do it? Now everybody carefully go ahead and switch to, from here just do su terminate, okay, because people are getting confused here opening another window. Su terminator, okay, and then go to cd assignment, and then if I do ls here, I have two files here, right? So the mission failed here, so I'm gonna go in here, vi terminate John, and I'll hit enter here, and then I'm gonna go and then say mission failed. Okay, I save and exit. Okay, now notice I didn't have any problem here. And if I go vi terminate Sarah, I have no problem here. I'm going to create so I'm going to say mission failed. Okay, again. So I didn't have any problem reading and writing to it. Why? Because the user terminate, he belongs to the machine group. Okay, and then he is gonna write to the folder here, vi mission failed, mission info, and I'm gonna say mission failed terribly. Okay, I'm gonna save and exit. Now I have three files. If I do ls-l, now you see here, since this file was created by terminator, his name is going to show up here, but the group is the machine. So suppose if we have another another terminator coming in here and he's a part of machine group, he's able to read this. Here, I'm gonna give it a 2-minute pause here and tell me if anybody has an issue.
I'm getting a little confused with the machine and the terminator terms. How are they coming in together?
Yeah, terminator is a user and machine is a group.
When I created the assignment, I did not use the word machine there anywhere.
What did you use?
Just the assignment with the forward slash.
No, we created the machine group earlier, right? Last class we created a group named machine. Right here. Not here. Group add -G 1000. So do cat etc cat space etc /group. Are you there? I think you already have it here. Just run this command here. Chown. Do this here. Do chown -r root : machine / assignment. Are you there?
Yes, I am there.
Okay. So anybody else having issue here? I mean, this is a clear cut here. Clear cut. Because as long as there is a access to the other group here, the terminator is part of other group here. I just demonstrated he's able to write to this file, he's able to edit this file. Okay, and what else is he's able to create a new file in this specific folder here. Okay, all right, good.
Mr. Zafar, question.
Yeah.
When we granted the write permission to the folder, in your notes that you just put over there, I don't see it in the notes.
What do you mean, right? Chown, right?
Yeah, chown.
Right here, chown.
Okay, it's a little bit above. Okay, got it.
And I think I miss chmod. Did I miss chmod?
Yeah, the chmod was the one when we granted the
Grant write permission.
Yep.
Here.
That's where we did the chmod in here.
Yeah, but the line is missing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Where did it go? chmod right here.
In VI Terminator, it's keep on asking me to add something to it, add to override.
Okay, get out of it and then tell me what is the permission looks like. VI, is the file already there? VI terminate John.
Yeah, I did not make VI Terminator John. I just make VI Terminator.
Okay, good. VI
So it
terminator,
says
right?
press enter or type command to continue. So when
Okay.
I press enter, I'm going back into the Terminator, VI Terminator, and when I'm typing something, and after that, when I'm trying to come out, it's not letting me come in.
Okay. VI. No, you to edit the file, you have to do I or O to go into the insert mode. Are you going in insert mode?
Yes,
And what is the error you're saying?
I'll send you the picture.
Yeah, so the permission is not set correctly. So get out of that file, Q, and then push the exclamation. Escape out of it, Q and exclamation. What will happen is you get out of the file and make sure the permissions are this. Okay, read me the file permissions here. What do you see there? Or do LSF and L and send me the picture in the assignment
Okay.
folder. Okay, so obviously the only thing you're missing here is uh, run this command. So you need to do the ch own.
Which one?
Okay. Run this command. You're missing this command here. Run this command. Ch own space
Okay.
hyphen R, uppercase R, and space root colon machine, and then space / assignment.
Okay.
Are you good now? And go into the assignment folder and do ls-l, and the root and machine should be the group.
It's saying me changing ownership of assignment terminator operation not found.
No. Get out of the terminator. You are logged in as terminator user. You have to be a root user at this moment. Just
Oh,
type
okay.
exit.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so these
You
are
can go ahead. I'll just follow
yeah.
up.
So all right, let's continue. So now what we have is we have a okay. So everybody is good here, right? The permissions and all these things are good. So
Yes.
now we have a clear picture that you don't have to be a other. So if there is any other user here, right? If I do it, I'm gonna exit out of here. I'm gonna go back as root cat etc password file, and if you go in there as a user Zafar,
இங்க வா இங்க வா கம்மியா இங்க வா அப்பா கிளாஸ் அட்டெண்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கமா இங்க வா இங்க வா
okay, Ranjan. So I'll make a note here that R is -R. This will change permissions for folder. I actually change ownership. Ownership for folder as well as files inside it. Okay, and then same thing here. -R will change the, okay, come on, change a permission for files as well as folder as well as files inside it. Okay, now let's go ahead and continue on with the permissions. Let's go ahead and create a username, user add T2. We're gonna have Terminator 2 coming in here. Okay, so first mission failed. We're gonna send a second mission, Terminator, and see what happens. Okay. And then set the password here. By the way, one thing I'm gonna show you is we just created a user T2, right? But for the root to switch to T2, the password don't need to be set, okay? If you do root T2, no, SUT2, and I am in as who am I? I'm logged in as T2 here. Okay, even though the password is not set for T2. Okay, there is one thing you need to know. Just keep a very simple password, 1234 1234. Okay, so create a new user T2. So we're sending a second mission here to kill them, and let's take a look here. Existing files. Now what I'm going to do is T2 I need to put him into the machine group T2. Same exact command. User, no, not group add. User mod. User mod hyphen AG. I'm going to copy that and then I'm going to give it to T2. T2. And if I do ID T2, and he's a part of a machine group. Okay? Can anybody tell me why is this showing 2000 and 9001? Because we changed the user definitions here. Earlier, if you go into our class here, we changed the user ID that will kickstart is 2000. So based on this file here, cat etc login definitions, that's what this is where it's coming from. And then did we change the group where the group ID starts from? Group series is 9000. Okay. So it's not going to change here. Why? Because we have already set this as a machine 9000. Though this is where it's coming from. Now let's switch to T2. SUT2, and I'm going to go into the assignment folder and I do ls-l. Okay, and I'm going to go into these files here, terminate John and terminate Sarah, and see if I'm able to read and write. I'm gonna say John Connor saved. Mission accomplished. Okay, so he is able to read and write to those files here. Why? Simply because he belongs to the group which is machine. Okay, and then I'm going to create a memo. Mission info. To mission accomplished. So several things are happening here, okay? So what I did, what really happened here so far is T2 is a new user and he's also part of a machine group. So that's why he's able to read and write these files here, okay? And he's able to write a new file, and then he's able to create a new file. He's able to create a new file in the folder here. Why? Because that folder belongs to machine group. So if you do ID T2 here, he's a part of a machine group.
Mr. Zafar, quick question.
Yeah.
Since now multiple users have access to this folder, to this file, as part of the group, are we able to go and check who made the last updates to that specific file?
I think there is a.
Since T2 made updates into terminate John and terminate Sarah, like as an administrator, if we wanted to know who went into the file last and made any updates to it?
Yeah, let's do, if you could do stat and then the file name. No, it's not that one is not there. So, but let's see if user, file terminator, owner, machine, other. That's a very good question here. That never crossed my mind. Let me do this as a user, a root user.
And since you ran get FACL, isn't that for the access command list if we've given specific access to somebody particularly?
Yeah, that's coming up actually.
Okay.
There should be a way to do this here. So I actually don't know. That's a very good question. But I'll check with people at work and then see if they have any idea how that works. I'm sure there is a third party way we could track it. But as long as you are giving the owners and all that, you should be able to work through this here. Okay, there's one other reason why we have the jump boxes. Okay, once you have access to the jump box, then you have access to everywhere else. So that is one of the security layer you use to control the access here. Okay, but that is very interesting question here. I will find out about that. Okay, thank you. Okay, so far you're good, right? So far what we have did is we created a folder and then the files inside is being assigned and then all that is happening here. Now one thing is showing here, T2 here is showing its primary group because we assigned a machine as a secondary group. So what we could do is we could do user mod hyphen G and then machine T2. Okay, and if I do ID T2, so his primary group is machine here. And if he goes into the folder sudo hyphen su hyphen T2 and cd2 assignment group, and he's gonna create another file here, vi or touch mission hyphen 3 . Okay, now is showing here is the file he created is showing the machine group here. So I think it will show you as your primary group what was your primary group, but you still have access to the machine folder. Why? Because you are part of a machine group. Most of the time, if the file is created by this user, it still doesn't show the access here. So let's see if the terminator will have access to this group here. I don't think he will. Yeah. The file does not belong to the machine group. So he is not able to, the terminator is not able to see this here, okay? But he is able to read in this file here. So if we go to su terminator and cd2 assignment, and if we do ll here, and let me see if he's able to do this here at all. So no, he's not able to do it. And if he's able to go into the 3, so 3, why is he not able to go into the 3?
I think, Mr. Zafar, we didn't add T2 to the wheel group. Could that be the reason why?
Which group?
The wheel group.
No, not need to. T2 is part of machine group, right?
Yes.
See, even after that, it still restricts the permissions. So a T2 could modify these permissions here, and it will change that permission to read. So deny permission always supersedes the allow permissions, okay? So I have to exit out of here, and I have to switch to T2 and go into assignment, and then I'm gonna do ch mod what is it, 664 and mission info. And then if I exit here and if I switch to terminate, yeah, he have access now. Okay, so the folder permissions work a little bit differently here. So
Mr. Zafar, quick question. What did you write in the mission info 3?
mission info 3, a terminator have access now.
Okay, thank you.
So for now, just remember that so far what I have here is, I mean, if you have a good knowledge on this, you should be okay. The other things where you have to wait and see how you add permissions, that comes with the experience here, okay? So I would say don't worry about that. what will happen is, if you're looking at here, you will be somehow looking in here at the permissions and the ownership. So you will not have a hard time figuring out its permissions here. Okay.
Mr. Zafar, I have a quick question. I'm in the VI editor and I was inserting the information, and when I tried to save and exit, it's not letting me. On the bottom part, it says recording.
Recording.
Yeah, I don't know why it's saying that. I
Is it?
inputted what I needed.
Do you have two sessions open?
No, I actually do have two sessions open, but I'm not using the second one.
Okay. I'm not sure why is it doing that.
It's not letting me get out of the editor.
Mine is working. I did my work.
Okay, just escape out of it somehow. Control C or do something. Do Control D.
Okay, I'm out of it now.
Okay.
I don't know why that happened. That's the first time that happened with me.
Yeah. No, you're good. I think I have seen that before. So I have a list of permissions. Commonly used using letters and um, okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna have to grab it from my previous class here. Permissions. Okay, so this is the list I previously made here. So I'm gonna go through over this here. It's very simple here, okay? So I mean, this is a repeat again. U is for user, group is for G, and O is for others, and then A is for all, and the permission number R number 4, W is number 2, and execute is 1, okay? And the actions, if you do plus, you're adding a permission. If you do minus, you remove a permission. And you do letter and equal, make it only permission, okay? I'll show you how that works. And these are the commonly used permissions, G plus W, write permissions and all that. Here, let me. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this here. Let's work on this here. So go ahead and get out of that file and be as root, okay? In your home directory as root, if you have anything in there, just remove it and start from scratch. Okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly go through all these things here, and we're using this what I have here, and then we'll work it up and see how these permissions you could grant access and remove access and all that real quick here. So I'm gonna get out of here. Okay, so clear it, and I'm gonna say a touch file 1, right? And what I'm gonna do is, if you do LL, you have all the permissions here. So I'm gonna remove all the permissions here. chmod 000 file 1, and if I do LL here, this file doesn't have any permissions, but it doesn't really matter. The root has all the permissions here. It doesn't care. So I'm gonna put it here. So all permissions are gone. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the full permissions here. So what I'm gonna do is chmod, okay, U plus read write execute file 1. I gave full permission only to the user. Okay, everybody with me? So we are starting from the 0 permissions here, okay? Now let's do chmod. I'm gonna say group. I'm gonna give group only read write permissions, or read and execute permission. So if you look closely here, the group has only read and execute permission.
Mr. Zafar, question: what does LL stand for? Is just long list, or just
Long list, yeah. It's
Okay.
rerouting to long list. Okay, now building up on this here, what I'm going to do is grant read-only permissions to others. So how I'm going to do that? chmod o plus r file1. There you go. Read-only permission to file1 for others. This is just informational here. I will have in the document and then you guys could follow along. In fact, before you go on working up here, come back down here and then follow along. Follow this like 4 or 5
Can you go a
times.
little up where you were typing? Like in putty.
Yeah. Actually, if you're falling behind, don't worry, because I'm kind of going a little bit fast here. What I'm doing is I'm just going through what I already have here, and then going through each of these thing here, so that you have it in a documentation and you could follow along. Okay.
Okay.
So we had read-only permission so far for others here, right? So, okay. So now I'm going to grant full permissions to everybody. Okay, so how I'm going to do that? I have list here. I'm going to do chmod a plus read write execute. What will happen is this will give them full permissions. Look at this here. If you see something like this here, I mean, that is odd. You should not have, a file should never have like full permissions like that. Okay, just crazy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the remove execute permission for everybody. What am I doing here? So I have chmod, okay, a minus execute. So a stands for everybody and the file name. So all of a sudden execute is gone from everybody else. If you see here, everybody else have execute, but here nobody has execute permission here. Okay, so we did 0, 0 here, right? Earlier, so now how are we gonna do it using the letters? chmod hyphen an a minus read write x file1, and there is no permission for anybody. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same permission. Actually, let's take a break here for 20 minutes. We all be back at 11:50 Central. Okay? All right, thank you. Break starts now. Okay. So what we're going to do is so I'll start from here, and let me go ahead and reset the permission again to all zeros. Okay, so the permission is set to all zeros here, right? So now what I did, the first one is set full permission for user. Okay, so for user full permissions, right? chmod. What would be the full permission using the number?
777.
No, only for user.
Oh, users. Six 666.
No, full permission for user.
7.
Okay. And no other permission for anybody else.
Okay.
0, 0.
0, 0.
0, 0. Very good. File 1. Okay, 700 file 1. Okay, now let's do the second one is full permission only to user. So grant group read and execute permission. So okay, so grant. When you say grant, that means allow. So if it doesn't already have, you're allowing the permission here. So so what I'm going to do is what would be the number here? chmod 7 is already there. Yeah, 7 is already there, so we're keeping 7, and we're adding 4 plus 1, that'll be 5 and 0. File 1. Okay, 750. Okay, now the third one is read only permission to others. So grant read only permission to other. Okay, so sometimes when using a number, you got to be careful how you're doing it here, okay? If you end up doing chmod and you end up doing like, but you have to give the 3-digit number here, right? So you have to see what this one is. So you have to like leave it carefully. 7. What will be the second number? There'll be 5, and then I want only read only number. So what would be the number for read only?
4.
4.
Yeah, 4. Very good. File 1. See now how this is dramatically changing here. You're just adding a number, and You see, you have to somehow come up with the number here. You have to visually look here what they have and what you have to do it. So it's your choice if you want to use the number or the letters. In my opinion, numbers are good and letters are good too. Okay? There you go. And then what is the next one? Grant full permission to everyone. So this one should be simple. chmod 777 file 1. And everybody has full permissions here. Okay, and what else we have here? Read only permission, grant full permission to everyone. Remove execute permission to everyone. Okay, so, all right, let's see if you guys can help me with this. I need to remove the execute permission from everywhere. Over
chmod 666 file 1.
Yeah, very good. 666 file 1. There you go. And then last one is if you want to remove all permissions here, chmod 000 file 1. All permissions are gone.
Since root is giving permission and taking away the permissions, this is how they are able to, like, even in spite of having the 0 permission, they're able to still access it.
Oh yeah. Root vi file 1. You know what, actually, yeah, I'm wrong. Root doesn't have full permissions here, especially the write permission. Root could still read it though. Let me see. Yeah. Can he delete it? Yeah. But read permission, he have to grant himself a read permission still. I think, yeah. All right, so you won't go into the situation like this at all. I haven't seen myself. Now what we're gonna work on next is facals, okay? File allocation table. FACL. File allocation. Actually, it's a file accessed control list. I'm getting confused with the facal in networking. There is a also called access control list, ACL. This looks odd here. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . So let's see if we have our folder still there. So we have this folder here, right? So if I do get facle assignment, and I have here, so it's giving us the information about this particular folder here, file allocation table. So file is the assignment, and then owner is the root, and the group is the machine here, okay? And what are the user permissions we have? Read, write, execute, and this is what is showing read, write, execute. Group permission is read, write, execute, okay? And then others, we have read, write, execute here. So if I do, so others have only read and write. Others who does not have anything else here, he cannot go in that group. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna modify this here and remove this. Okay, if you are a Zafar and you want to get in this folder, you should be able to get in there. Okay, so but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this, and then we'll see if I'm able to go in there. So I'm gonna do chmod. So I'm gonna say O minus read, write, execute, and assignment. And I'm gonna say get facle. Get facle is a command that will get you the file allocation table. I'll show you what is this happening. It will be clear in a minute. Okay, anybody who is not user or in machine group. So if you're not root or if you're not in a machine group, you won't have access.
If I am still not in the machine group, it still shows root.
Yeah, I think you missed it. You have to change the ownership here. What are you logged in as? Not in user or in machine group, right?
Yes.
Will not have access. And get facle is the command to get the facle. So what I'm going to do is, let's see here, get etc password. Get etc password. We have Zafar here, we have Terminator here, and so Terminator is part of machine group and is a machine group here. all this here is machine group. Give me 1 minute here. I'm getting a call. Yeah. I'm in a call. Talk me here. Don't FaceTime. I'm in a call. Yeah, we will ask Mama if she could pick up Ghosh because it's ready. उन्हें बाहर ला के खाली फ्रिज में से यूं ला के रख देता मेरी जान. एक काम बढ़ एक काम बढ़ जाता. फिर पिकअप करना है. Don't you have like a desi group? Okay. Okay. Oops. Okay, sorry about that. So let's do this here, okay? What we're gonna do is let's create another user here from the Terminator. Okay, so let's do create new user. So I'm gonna create a new user, okay? User add. Okay, and what is this gonna do?
You put a space in it, Mr. Zafar.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. So I'm gonna do user add T9000. Okay, this is another Terminator coming in. And what I'm gonna do is, give me 1 second here. So the user is there, but he's not part of any group, right? ID T9000. So he is not part of the machine group yet. So what is going to happen here is this user will not have access to this folder here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grant him the access circumventing the traditional group and user access. Okay. All right. So how are we going to do that? Let's take a look here. So we have T9000 here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say set facle. So set facle will be the so before that, let's go in as T9000, okay? Okay, I'm gonna switch as T9000, and then I'm gonna go in as CD assignment permission denied. Okay, why is the permission denied? Because if you look at the permissions here earlier, if you do ls-ld assignment, say there is no permissions here because T9000 is not part of a machine group. And if there are no permission to get into the folder because he's part of other group, he won't be able to get in there, okay? Good. So let me copy this part here at least before I forget. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna give him the permission specific to the. So what does this happen here is grant permission to a specific user to the folder. So in this case, the user is T9000. Okay, he need to have access to that folder here. So I'm gonna exit out of here, and what I'm gonna do is set facle -m. Okay, and then I'm gonna say u and a colon. So I'm specifying who the user is, T9000. And then what are the permissions I'm gonna give him? I'm gonna give him read, write, and execute. Read, write, execute. And the destination folder assignment. Okay, and if I do get facle assignment, now we have a specific user T9000 read, write, execute here. Before I forget, let me explain what this is. Grant T9000 permission. Oh. User only permission to folder T9000 user permission to folder assignment. Okay, so I have this here, so I granted him permissions here, right? So I'm gonna expand on this and explain you what this is. So we have 6 items here, right? 6 okay. So the first one is command set facle, okay? And second one is -m. That means modify. And then the user, this time u, So you are specifying, you're giving it to the user here, and the user ID T9000 user ID. You could definitely give the name also, okay? And the permission you want to grant him. I gave him all the permissions here. Whatever permissions you think you need to give him, you could give him, and then the folder or file. We could. I'll show you how to give only permission to only specific file. Read, write, execute, and /assignment. Okay, now I'm gonna switch to T9000. Before I forget, let me do this here. This is the output. Now try accessing the folder assignment. As T9000. It's so quiet here. You guys could still hear me, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm switching to T9000. And then earlier, if you notice, we weren't able to go in the folder at all. So now we are able to go into the folder. Even though if you do LSF and LD, root is the user and machine is the thing here. Okay, so one thing you should notice here is it got like a little plus here. What that indicates is that means faculties are set on this file. Now, if you go into LL here, so he have access to the folder here. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have access to the specific file here. So if you are able to do, he's able to read here because the specific file has read access here, okay? If he's not able to execute or write to it. So if I do VI mission in, let's do this here, terminate John. And if he's try to do here, okay, down on the bottom it says read only. So far, this exercise, what it says is, earlier he didn't have access to the folder. Now he have access to the folder, even though he's not part of a machine group or he's part of other group, but he's able to get into the folder here. Why? Because he is allowed as a specific user to go in there, not as a group. Okay, now I'm going to exit out of here, and then I'm going to go in there and into the assignment, and I have LL here. So I'm going to create one file here, VI. So he has a T9000, he's able to go in there. T9000 is able to go inside the folder but not able to view, not able to write. He should be able to write a new file. I've forgotten about that to show you. SUT9000. So he's in assignment folder. If he does touch T9000 assignment, so he's able to do that, okay? He's able to create his own file in there. Okay, why is he able to do that? Because of the folder level access. Okay, over here, even though he's part of other group, he doesn't have access here. But if you get facal, he has a read-write access here to the folder. That means he's able to go inside the folder and he's able to read the files, he's able to write the files, and he's able to execute the files, even though there are no permissions granted to this others here. Right now he is part of other because he doesn't belong to machine group. So actually he is able to, T9000 is able to read,
Mr. Zafar, I have a question.
write, yeah.
When you say that he's a part of the other, like at the end of it is there's a plus sign, but the command that we ran, -m, and then we did the user. So isn't he a part of user? He's assigned as a user rather than assigned into the group.
Yeah,
Or other, he's not assigned to other or group. He's assigned to a user.
yeah, he's assigned to as a additional user group, but
Okay.
this permissions, if I take a write permissions here and the user over here will still retain his write permissions, he won't be able to write to the folder.
Okay.
Or if I just give him execute here, he just be able to go inside the folder. Okay, that's it. He won't be able to read the files, do anything like that.
Okay.
So these, don't get confused. These permissions and these permissions are independent here. He is still part of this group here, but he's getting, since his name is coming up, only he have access to these permissions. Okay. All right, so now he's able to read, write, and enter the folder. Okay. No access to editing the file. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna exit out of here. I went up here, and in here I created a file name. So this was done by here. So now I'm gonna create a file name, vi save John, save John and Sarah. Okay. save John and Sarah. Now if I do get facle, okay, so it's just basic standard permissions here. User is read, group is write, others is just read here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grant T9000 this file permission here. Okay, so here access denied to directory. Grant permission to specific user to specific folder. Okay, so we're using a specific user and specific folder here. Now what we're gonna do is grant permission to specific file. Grant permission to specific file to specific user. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out of here and I'm going to give him the permission here, set facle, same command. I'm going to do almost the same command here. And then I'm going to give the file name. Okay, and then I do get facle. So here, remember this is the file here, so he is able to go in there and do all these things here, even though he doesn't even belong to the group and other users. Okay, all right, so let's take a look here. Okay, set facle, get facle, and so now
So T9000 is a part of command or is just created a user?
yeah, I just created the user earlier.
So we can change the name. T9000 can be anything else, right?
Yeah, it could be anything else.
Okay.
So if I do ls-l here, and this one save Sarah. Okay, so what do I do here is, if I go in there, but look here, this is root, and then this is not. So definitely this file doesn't have like too much permissions here, right, for somebody else. But T9000, he should be able to go in there And oops. Okay, so there you go. See, looking in here on the face of it, it doesn't make sense here. Anybody else would have access to, especially the execute and write permission. But since we have granted only T9000 access to this file here, no matter where that file is, he have access to it. Okay, so these things comes in handy when we are giving a special request permission. You will get some request that some users would need access to the file temporarily, and then you grant them the access only to the specific folder or a file, and then remove access later on. What time is it now? Oh, we still have good time. So for this to happen, I'm going to make a note here. For the file to be FACL, user would need access to the folder also. So if the user T9000 doesn't have access to assignment, he won't be able to get in there. Folder will deny getting access to this here. So he would need a full access to the absolute path to the file, access to the file here. Then he is able to get in there.
So if we were doing this command before we created the file inside save -John -Sarah, and we knew that file was in there, and we ran the set FACL command, at the end of it, we would just give the full path, right? /assignment /save -John -Sarah. That would work as well, right, Mr. Zafar?
Yeah,
Okay.
it should work.
Is there a command to remove FACL too?
To remove FACL?
Yeah, like let's say if we want, when, like you said, if for a specific reason we had to give access to somebody and then later they were gone, they were back doing their own thing and we had to remove their access.
Yes, there is. There you go. -M, let's do 000, and let's do get FACL. So T9000 is gone. -R, you know what, let me go into man here. I think -RM, you could do that too. Man set FACL. We remove all extended ACL entries, the base. So, okay, -B. -N, mask, do road called effective right. So let's do -b and see what happens. So let me do okay. So if you do -b, it will take out the faculties for you. So I do this so rare I don't even know how to remove it. So how do you go in there and do it? If you don't know something, just go into the man pages. It won't take long to figure out. Remove faculty access. I think you could also have one other user set faculty. You could do that too. You could have more than one user as faculty. You could try it out and let me know. I'll put this as an assignment and see if you guys could do that. Okay, so moving along, let's a little bit concentrate on how change ownership and change group works. Okay, it's also a part of permissions here. So I'm gonna get out of this. I'm gonna clear. This time I'm gonna create a new folder. I'm gonna create a new folder called data. Chown, that means that chown stands for change ownership. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder mkdir/data, and if I do ls-ld data, so these are the standard permissions here, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this folder data, and I'm going to create a file touch file1, and I'll hit enter, and then if I do ls-l file1, and I have these permissions here, right? 644. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the ownership here. Change the ownership. So what I'm going to do is chown. Now I'm going to change the ownership from the user ownership I could change, or group ownership I could change. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the user ownership to terminate, and I'm going to keep the group ownership to root and the file1. Okay, and if I do ls-l file1, so you see the command is it has changed the ownership here. Now the terminator, he has read and write permissions to this file here, and then root users would have only read permissions and others would have other permissions. So you change the permissions for the specific file here. Ownership. Any questions here?
Professor,
Yeah.
so why after shown you didn't put -r and you put straight shown terminator?
Very good question. I'm doing it only for the file, so it doesn't need it. If I'm doing for the folder, everything inside the folder would have like -r.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so let's see here if I want to do ch own. I want to keep the user as is, but I want to change only the group here. I do colon machine file 1. So if you put a colon here, it automatically thinks this is the second part of the permissions. You want to change the group permission here, so it will do this here for you. You could definitely run this command also like this. You could definitely run a terminator.
So
Both.
how do I add myself to the group machine?
No, I was just working with the existing user terminator.
Okay.
Okay, and so these are the two different ways here to you could do this here. It works just fine. Now let's work on the ownership of the folder itself. Change the ownership of folder. Before that, let me go in that folder and then I'm gonna create like 5 files here. Touch, file 2, file 3, file 4, file 5. And I have all these files here. So I want to give the permissions here recursively. Okay, recursively means everything existing permissions here. So how I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna get out of here and then I'm gonna say ch own -r, and then I'm gonna say terminator. Okay, also if you do ls-ld data. Okay, so look here, the root permission is still there here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the permissions here. Okay, hold on, let me copy this here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is ch own -r, terminator, and I'm going to machine group. and then I'm going to
Miss-
give data to data folder. Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Zafar, quick question. You created the 5 files in the data folder, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you went back to root.
Yeah, I came out of it.
You changed the directory.
Yeah, I just do CD.
Okay.
Okay. Now if I do ls-ld data, and if I do ls-l data, and you definitely notice here that all of them are part of machine group and terminator user. Why? Because we did a uppercase R. Uppercase R means not just the folder, everything inside the folder starting at this point. So sometimes you do get this when you're creating a logical volumes for the for the application, you need this here. So later on you will have like something like user Oracle, and then the group name will be database or something like that, DB2 and all that. So the command is the same exact command. All you have to do is just figure out the user ID and group ID. What if there is a folder, another folder inside a folder? It will take care of all those too. If you have another 1,000 folders and each folder has another 1,000 files in there, this command, it will make boom. Everything would be terminator, and files will be all terminator and
with
everything.
you?
Okay, so all this looks good so far. Okay, let me show you what change group is command, and then after that we'll be all done here. Okay, so I'm gonna create a folder mkdir data2, and if you do ls-ld slash data2, you have this here, right? So we're gonna use the change group chgrp. chgrp stands for change group. Okay, so how are we gonna use this command here? If I do chgrp, and then I'm gonna use this data group to machine and data2, and hit enter. What this command does is it will change only the group. See? You don't have to worry about chown and figuring out machine. All when you're doing the change group, you just do this here. Most of the time, you will have a request to do -r2. And then anything inside will be taken care of. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna end here, and I was gonna do a little bit of more, but I don't think we have time. So we ran out of time for today, and So I'll try to put up this assignment right away, but I don't think I will be able to do it today. But at least I'll upload the document, and I will upload the video right away so that you guys could have access to it. Any questions, put it in a chat, and then we'll go from there, okay? All right. So,
Thank you, Mr. Zafar.
yeah.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, have a good one.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Namaste.
Namaste.